We cross.
I can't swim.
Me neither. Robert, carry the baby. Isaac, help Miss Lucy. Junior, help Jane.
This fool trying to drown us.
Lindsay, you done gone full crazy. We got an old woman and a baby with us. We ain't going in that river. Come on, y'all.
I say we are. Now you be free or die.
What up, YouTube? Coming back with a video. I have a quote from Carl Jung that, if anybody doesn't know who Carl Jung is, he has a lot of quotes that are amazing. Great philosopher. I try to read and listen to, especially his lectures that they still have on YouTube. Makes me think. He always says things that makes me think, and I mean actual think, and put my psyche to the side. He says that word a lot. But I have this one particular quote that I've thought about. I've actually, when I first discovered Carl Jung, it might have been like, it was a while ago. And when I say discover someone, what I mean by that is, of course, we hear everybody's quotes or different things. But when I say discovered, I mean like I sat down and actually researched and listened to videos and read, his books or whatever the case, that would allow me to grow and understand who this person is and why. At the time, people would always mention him when we lived in Virginia. I would hear people mention him, and I didn't know enough about him to have an opinion or to formulate opinion. But he has a quote that says, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." And that is so much of what has happened to us. I get that a lot I work with people as a coach. I work with people as in research, and you listen to, what's happened to them, whether they had a knee injury or whether, they've been hit with a baseball and they walk around with a bad limp or something, all these things you meet. I meet all kind of different people with all different backgrounds and different injuries and different pain levels and different tolerances. And one thing that I pulled from it is a lot of times, and how about this? I've been a victim of this, and this is where I get all of my revelations from, is honestly, I sit and try to relate to the person. I try to sit with the person, at least while I'm talking to them, whether they be young or old. And I try to listen to why that pain is that way, because I work with pretty much, like I said, people when it comes to physical movement and different things. So it's just something I piece together, and it's a statement that I say now often, is we focus on more what we can do. And what I mean by do is like, okay, I can't do this because this, I can't do this because of this, or I can do this because of whatever, because of this or that, or this or that. But what I've recognized was people focus on what they can do more than they focus on what can be done. And what can be done in my life, I try to focus on what can be done because it's far more important than what I can do. I've been limiting myself to saying that I hate school, and I created YouTube as my school. At the time I was saying these things, at the time YouTube still is my school. I was focusing on what I can do. I can just go on YouTube and I can create something. I can learn something. I can now post videos, something, I can do something. And I was so focused on what I can do. And as I step into this new realm of research and how that works, and scientific studies and all that, just all that academia, that world, I'm being taught what can be done in my life and not what I can do. What I can do is I can learn, I can hear about a topic, and I can go home. I can save 20 videos in my YouTube page. I can order the books. That's what I can do. I can start doing the listening to Audible. That's what I can do. I can do all those things, but I never really attached it to what could be done. And what I mean by what can be done, I've been serenaded and loved and spoken to in a different way from people in academia saying, I know you don't have a bachelor's degree. Well, they assumed I did have a degree, but I don't. I have a associate's. But they're saying, you can get a degree and you can do this. This what can be done with your degree. Like, I never looked at it that way. I was looked at as I need to stay eligible to play the sport. They're like, yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying, but this is what can be done with this degree. You're actually smart enough, being around you, that you can do this over here and get a degree to where you can get paid over here. And where never focus on that because it wasn't in my mind. It was never a consideration in my mind's eye to look in this area, because I was focused on what I can do. And guess what? What I can do is good. What I can do is very helpful to me. What I can do has allowed me to accomplish things. But in this thing that I'm learning now, what can be done is far more important. What can be done will expand my awareness and my perspective on life. What can be done is something that I never done before. I never even considered the fact of being educated would allow me to do this. Is maybe I did a peer-reviewed article and I didn't comprehend that. I didn't really understand. So I kind of just like, I'll do it with Steven, blah, blah, blah. But as it's laid out there and I continue to view it, I have tons of things, or many things. I don't want to say tons, but I have many things that I can discuss that I basically was living in this realm anyway with research. If anybody is a coach and has been a coach for more than, I would say, let's just say 5 years, you basically have done a lot of research studies, I would think. I look at how the body moves, how it works, and that's what led me into this research realm, because I was doing that anyway without even knowing I was doing it. When it comes to the psyche of how to perform, you're thinking the wrong things, not because the kid's wrong or the athlete's wrong. It's because, oh no, I thought that way too. But let me help you adjust or shift that mindset so you can accomplish that goal physically. If you can't do a push-up, I've helped people learn how to do a push-up. How the older people, or I don't want to say older people, but people who are not in sports and they're maybe just, with a 9 to 5, can't lift their arms because of an injury. I've helped people develop strength to lift their arms. I've sat with a lot of people who had knee replacement surgeries, and I learned from that through, taking notes when I get home, introducing new exercises that I may have caught on YouTube. And obviously I adapt it to the individual, and the person gets better. And I have my little, kid success of, oh my God, that's so cool. Not knowing, or not even perceiving, or even, I haven't even considered the fact that I was doing research, that I could, all the stuff that I would write down, or I may have in my brain, I can put on paper and it could possibly help somebody. I thought me as the individual was the most important, because if I'm with the person, I'll fix it, or at least come up with the solution to how we can adapt and grow from it. I never thought about, I don't have a 9 to 5 job. And I made a video about that, so I'm not going to dive into all, that story. But there's a thing called a 401k plan or a retirement plan. Like I honestly can't see myself actually like retiring and saying, this is my retirement. I just love solving problems. I love finding solutions. So in this season, and where I am, I'm creating these videos and I'm doing these research things because I love it. I love this stuff. I'm learning to love YouTube. I'm learning to love collaborating with Jade, collaborating with Lauren, Mama Swift, everybody around me, and creating video. I'm loving this right now. So as I walk down this path, it's my 401k. It's my way of establishing myself long after I'm gone for my family, so they can, there's a story that, or there's a thing on YouTube, if YouTube's still around, then, but there's something you can actually watch a video on your grandfather. That's why I think that's the coolest thing, being, I've done the ancestry thing and I want to do more research. I love history and ancient history. I love all that. But we as people of color, from my research, I can only track back, or I've tracked all the way back to 1800s, mid 1800s, or maybe 1830, I believe. My great grandfather, or however you want to piece it together. But I want to put something out here for people to know who I am and help them. Generational curses is what I've grew up around, but I want to explain and share everything so it creates this whole experience for people for people who are connected to me in the future. Not only my family, but just people in general. So all the stuff that has happened to me is amazing because it put me in this place where I'm choosing to become this person to where this is my story. I'm recording on YouTube. This is who I am. And I love every minute of it. And I'm learning to love it more and more as I focus on what can be done instead of what I can do. And that's just that even saying that just excites me for the future and for what I'm creating. So again, thank you, YouTube. Until next time, because there will be a next time, because I love what I'm doing. Hey folks, thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Oh yeah, hit that bell, so you can know more about Swift Sundays.